Hello students, today we will discuss the next part of the atom structural organization, that is the anatomy. The morphology part already we have completed, where we have seen the general characteristics of the atom. It belongs to the annelida. Then after that it is having the three germ layers from where the body is developed. Then after that it is coelomic, which have a coelom. Next, their segmentation we have discussed, the different body apertures, then appendages, then the different pores they are present in the body. All of those we have discussed in the earlier video. So today we are going to discuss the next part, that is the anatomy. So already in the earlier already we have discussed what is morphology means and what is anatomy. Morphology means it is the outer external characteristics, and anatomy means internal body structures. It will include the body wall, it will include the different physiological systems like digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion, nervous regulation, etc. So all of these things we will see now part by part. So in this second part we will discuss first of all their body wall. Okay, so body wall is very much important. Okay, remember in case of this organism, the body wall is made up of how many layers? Okay, first of all, they have a very important cell layer. Okay, and what is the cell layer? That is the epidermis layer, right? So this body wall will consist of the cuticle. Next one, epidermis. Then after that they have the muscular layer and the parietal peritoneal layer. Okay, so let's just see actually how many things the layers they will form the body wall. So first of all, above I have drawn here the cuticle. So what is cuticle actually? This cuticle is a non-cellular region. Okay, it's actually secreted by the beneath layer, that is the epidermis. So epidermis secrete one non-cellular secretion which form the cuticle. Okay, so this cuticle is nothing but one non-cellular layer. Okay, it is formed by whom? Formed by epidermis, right? Next one, what is the epidermis? This epidermis is actually, though it is seen very small, but actually it is not. This is a columnar cell layer. Okay, so it is the columnar cell layer. So in this epidermis layer, how many different varieties of cells are found, right? So this epidermis is not made up of only the columnar epithelial cells, but along with that various varieties of cells are there. Yes, they have the sensory cell, because this organism can sense a lot of different senses. So they have the sensory cells. Then they have the cetal cell. Okay, then they have the goblet cell. Okay, then varieties of cells are there. Okay, so all of these cells, suppose albumin cell, mucus producing cells, these cells are present, which actually are present in all epidermis. Basal cell. Okay, so varieties of cells will be there. All of them glandular cells, suppose it will help in secretion of the different different juices that makes the wall very much moist, so that they can have the proper diffusion of gases into the body. So this is the epidermis layer, which is the first and very important layer of the body wall, which secrete the cuticle. Okay, next after that come to the muscular layer. So because of the muscles, this organism help in moving. Okay, so this muscle will help this CT to move, right? So these are the two type of muscular layer present: upper circular layer, okay, upper circular muscle, and they have the lower longitudinal muscle. Okay, so two type of muscles are present, upper circular and inner longitudinal. So suppose this is the atom. In this atom, circularly they are going to have this circular muscle, so which will give this organism to move like this, right? And this longitudinal muscle which is present in entire the length of this atom longitudinally in bundles, which will provide this organism to move like this. Okay, longitudinally it will move by this longitudinal muscle, and if it is circular they will move circularly. So these are the two type of muscles in the muscle layer which is present just beneath the epidermis. Then after that, the last layer which form the body wall, that is the peritoneal layer. So what is the peritoneal layer? It is nothing but it is actually the space between, see, one thing we need to know that this atom belongs to which phylum? It is belonging to the phylum Annelida, right? So in case of this annellates, what happened? This organism have the coelom. So this coelom is actually present in between the two layers. What are they? Body wall and the lumen, alimentary gut. Okay, so this is the gut. Okay, and this is the body wall. So this up to the longitudinal muscle, up to the parietal peritoneum, this is actually what? The body wall, right? So in between these two, that means that this space, right? So this space I'm drawing dot, making dot here. So what is that? This will be the coelom. Okay, and this lining of the coelom from the upper side, that means just after the body wall, just after that they have a layer that is known as the parietal peritoneal layer, which actually lines the coelom. Okay, which lines the coelom, okay, from the body wall side, okay, from the upper side. Then after that, just beneath that, what they are going to have? The coelom. So yes, the cavity coelom is there. Just behind that they are going to have this lumen. Okay, so that is all about the body wall. So body wall is not that important, but then also sometime you can be asked like what type of muscles are present. Okay, then what type of cells are found in the epidermis layer? So it is the columnar epithelial cell, then albumin producing cell, mucus producing cell, that is the goblet cell, basal cell, glandular cell. These varieties of cells are present, and also this body wall have the sensory, different varieties of sensory cells. So those sensory cells provide this organism to sense the intensity of the light. They can see, they cannot see the object, but yet yes, the intensity of the light they can actually sense. They have the touch receptor, they have lots of varieties of sensory receptors are there. They are all present on this epidermis layer. Just behind that they have the muscular layer, and just after that they have the parietal peritoneal layer. So this parietal peritoneal layer which will line the coelom from the upper side. Just behind it they have the coelom. Just after that they have the lumen. So that four parts, the four layers that form the body wall. What are they? Cuticle, epidermis, muscular layer, and the parietal peritoneal layer. After that, let us move to the next part, that is about the different physiologies of the organism like digestion, respiration and all. So first we will discuss the digestive system. So first of all, see the process of digestion. So if it comes to the digestion, I have already drawn the digestive system so that you can understand and we don't waste time. So the digestive system look like a straight structure, and it will run entire the length of the organism of the worm from the mouth to the anus. Okay, so their digestive system, if it comes to the digestion, so first of all, the first point will be they are going to have a straight digestive tube. Okay, so they are going to have a complete straight digestive canal from mouth to the anus. Okay, Unlike the other organisms, they don't have any type of convolution, that means coil structures inside their body, as this worm is a very small, narrow, elongated elongated worm. Their digestive system also run completely straight, entire the length from the mouth to the anus. So the next thing we should know that what type of food actually the worm takes. The earthworm is omnivorous. Remember, this organism is omnivorous. That means it can take the animal originated or plant originated tissue. So basically this organism take the soil. In the soil, maybe the animal tissue or the plant tissue, they can get decayed, and the decayed animal or the plant tissue is taken by the worm with the soil. So they just take the soil inside their body. From the soil, actually from the humus, the animal originated or the plant originated tissue, they can digest and the soil will be removed. So they are omnivorous. Their food contain decayed leaf or animal tissue. Okay, so these are the omnivorous organism. Next thing, that what type of digestive glands they have, right? So glands, remember, they're going to have this is the pharynx. In the pharynx, they have the pharyngeal cells. Okay, so these pharyngeal cells have lipolytic, right? Then proteolytic. Okay, and after that they are going to have amylolytic enzymes. Okay, so these enzymes, they are produced by, okay, so these enzymes are produced by the pharynx. Here this pharynx, then after that the stomach, and the first part of the intestine, the glandular part of the intestine or the stomach or the pharynx, they release the enzymes like the proteolytic, lipolytic or amylolytic enzyme. So this lipolytic enzyme, they break the lipid. Okay, it breaks the lipid. Okay, right? Next one, proteolytic enzyme, it breaks the protein. Next one, if it is the amylolytic enzyme, it is going to break the basically starch, or we can say carbohydrate. Okay, so this type of food can be broken down by this lipolytic or the proteolytic or the amylolytic enzymes. So these enzymes are produced by whom? These all enzymes are produced by, these are produced by pharyngeal cells, okay, pharynx. Then the stomach wall, that means in the stomach wall they have the digestive glands too, okay, stomach wall, and the intestinal wall, okay. Glandular part of the pharynx, glandular part of the stomach, and glandular part of the intestine, it releases the lipolytic, proteolytic or amylolytic enzyme who breaks the lipid, protein and the carbohydrate. So this type of food is digested by this organism, that is the earthworm. Now come to their whole digestive canal, how actually it look like. So first of all, this is the mouth, which is present in the first segment, right? So remember what that first segment known as? The first segment is known as the peritoneum. So in the anteriormost region of the peritoneum, they have one aperture that is called as the mouth, which is present in the anteriormost region of the first segment. Next one, from first to the third segment, they have a structure that is called as buccal cavity, which resembles to your mouth. Okay, so like that, like our mouth, they are also going to have the buccal cavity. Now from this buccal cavity, they are going to have a small structure that is known as the pharynx that extend from the buccal cavity, and a small, very small hollow structure is there, that is the pharynx. In the lining of the pharynx, they are going to have the pharyngeal cells which release this lipolytic, proteolytic or amylolytic enzymes, right? Then after that, the food will pass from the pharynx to the esophagus, and from the esophagus the food will be pushed to the gizzard. Now you have to remember what is the function of the gizzard, right? So gizzard is actually a structure who help in grinding the food. Okay, remember this point is important. This is the gizzard. So that gizzard help in grinding the food. Okay, so already I have told you in the aves, in case of the birds don't have the teeth. So if they have the teeth, the body weight will be increased and they cannot fly. Okay, so as a volunt or aerial adaptation, they don't have the teeth. Rather what they have the gizzard. In case of earthworm also, the teeth will not be formed because this is very primitive organism. So that's why to grind the food they are going to have the gizzard, right? Next one, from the gizzard the food will pass to the stomach. So this stomach also have this digestive glands which will contain all these three enzymes. Additionally, in the gizzard there is another type of gland present. Remember, in the stomach they are going to have a gland, and that gland is known as the calciferous gland, right? So what is the function of this calciferous gland? It releases actually one digestive juice, juice which help in the neutralizing. It help in neutralizing the acidity of the humus, or the that humus, that is nothing but a soil which is richly supplied with the animal and the plant originated decayed tissue that will have the humic acid. So that humic acid will be bring to the normal by this calciferous gland. Remember what is the function of the calciferous gland? It help in neutralizing, okay, it help in neutralizing the acidity of humic acid present in the humus. Okay. Now after that, from the stomach the food will pass to the intestine. In the intestine you can see where it is present. Okay, one thing, from the gizzard it is present from 8 to the 9 segment, small region. Then from the 9th to the 14th region, 14th segment, they are going to have the stomach. From the 15th to the last segment, it is intestine. This intestine is also have 3 parts. You can divide the intestine into 3 parts depending upon the presence of the typhlosole. So what is typhlosole I will tell you, but before that, typhlosole, above the typhlosole it is known as the pretyphlosolar region. Then after that it is typhlosole, and after that the post-typhlosolar post-typhlosolar region. So first of all, this is the intestine. Intestine is the main site for the digestion as well as absorption. Okay, remember that. It is the intestine. Okay, intestine is the main site of digestion and absorption, right? So in this intestine you can see this is the intestinal cecum. That means in the intestinal wall it is going to have the intestinal cecum. So that intestinal cecum have the capacity, they actually are glandular structure who release the enzyme, and this enzyme will contain all this which help in digestion of all this protein, carbohydrate, lipid, etc. So they will digest in the pretyphlosolar segment before the typhlosole. From the 26 up to the 26, it means from 15th to the 26th segment, with the help of the intestinal cecum, they release the enzyme help in the digestion of the food product present in the humus. Now whenever the food go to the next segment, that means from the 26th to the next 25th segment, then what happened? See here in this that means in the typhlosolar region, what they have internally, if you see, this is suppose the lumen, right? Internally what the lumen have, this lumen is going to have some invaginations. Okay, Like in your digestive system, in the intestine, we have the villi. Similarly, they are going to have the typhlosoal, right? So it is nothing but you can resemble the typhlosoal with your villi. Okay, what is the function of the villi? It will increase the surface area so that it can help in absorption of the food products. Same thing is happening here also, that this typhlosoal, whenever it is increasing the surface area, the food will pass through this typhlosoal and it will absorb the food material which is already in the simpler stage or simpler form, right? So in the typhlosolar region, the food will be absorbed. Then after that, the food digestion process, absorption process is completed. Then after that, what will happen? From the anus, they will remove the waste product, and that waste product, whenever they remove the fecal matter, that fecal matter will be just like in some small pellets, right? And that fecal matter, okay, so this fecal matter, whenever it is released by this worm, what we can call it, this is just look like a pellet like structure, so that's why it's known as the worm casting. Okay, this worm casting is seen whenever during the rainy season, the earthworm they come to the surface of the soil. This fecal matter they release in small pellets. This is known as the worm casting. So that is all about the digestive system. This way they will release the waste product and the process of digestion completes. So that's all about the digestive system. Whenever the food is absorbed from the typhlosolar region, the blood vessels, they will take the nutrients which is in the simplest form. They will go back to the blood vessel, and from the blood vessel it will go to the different parts of the body carrying the nutrients. So that's all about the digestive system. In the next video, we will see the respiration, circulation, and all the other things. So that's all about the digestive system. In this video, we have discussed only the body wall and the digestive system. Hope you have understood. Thank you.